Hi, and welcome to Cat Chat,
where we're going to chat about cats. On this episode, we were lucky enough to meet with Nicole Hollander. She's an amazing cartoonist, probably most well known for her Sylvia cartoons. She's been doing cartoons for over 30 years, and she just launched a new website called edgycat.com. Where she focuses on her cartoons about cats. So some really hilarious stuff, and we hope you enjoy it.
My background is in painting.
Okay.
And I have a master's degree in painting from Boston University. And what I started to feel was that it was too lonely to be a painter. Because what you do is you stand in front of the canvas and you go into your head. I mean, at least that's the way I did it. And it seemed sort of like, oh my God, am I going into my head again? I really would like to interact with people. And I thought about it for a very long time. I thought about being a social worker and working with art and having people draw and heal themselves in that way. And I was going to go to graduate school in art therapy. And the dean said to me, you have to think about, what do you really want? Do you want to be in a service profession, or do you want to be an artist? And when it was so clear, I just said, I want to be an artist, so I can't do that. Sylvia doesn't always appear. It's called, the cartoon strip is called Sylvia, but I felt actually very soon that it was boring to have the same person, because it's the same tone of voice, it's the same phrasing. So I decided that I would just invent new characters all the time, and so that's what I've done. So Ida, who you talk to when you're determined to do something which you know is wrong, is a new character.
Nice.
Sylvia is a kind of Ann Landers. She gives advice. She is a cat lady without the phrase crazy cat lady, and she wears a little mask. And people, you see, one panel is of people writing to her and saying, I come home and my cat has erased all the messages on my answering machine. And she says, your cat is only trying to save you from the knowledge that you have no friends. So that's the kind of advice that she gives. And she is just called Cat Lady. Everybody says that online presence is the important thing. So I decided that I would do EduCat, and that people love cats, and people love mean cats. That's quite clear. I even think when I think about some of my characters, they are so on the edge of rage. They're like Jeremy Piven, on Entourage. There is nothing. Just a moment in which he will just go completely ballistic. I've always liked that about his character. And some of my characters are that way, like the woman who knows how to do everything better than you do, who's modeled after Martha Stewart. And then there's these women they have no names. The woman who's easily irritated, she's always flying off the handle. She finally had to decide that she would only pick a few things that she would get insane about. And she has this wonderful husband who you never see, and he says, honey, can I make you a martini and a jelly donut, and maybe you'll calm down. So she is someone who understands. As I was saying to you, that I have these 6 drawings, and people can pick one of each, and then I redraw it. And then I sign it, and then I laminate it, and then I go to the post office and mail it to them, and I think, sometimes I stop myself at the post office and think, what are you doing? What is the profit margin in this? So I'm trying to think of a way of doing prints rather than hand coloring. You can see that this one is actually not finished because I've run out of that color. I have to find that exact color green before this thing can be finished.
So this is someone's...
This is someone's. It belongs to someone.
And how can someone get one of these original pieces of art from you?
Well, they can go on. Thank you so much for asking. They can go on educat.com. That is educat.com, and go to original art. There are many other categories, but they can go to original art, and they will see 6 cartoons, and they pick one of them. Well, Educat, yeah, that's really new. So I was talking to a friend of mine, and we were talking about cats and what I could do as a website, and somehow we came up with this idea that it would be edgy because it could mean a lot of different things. And in fact, she thought of it as meaning educational cat. I never thought of it as meaning that, but I thought of it as being on the edge and being nasty and edgy, and I think people like to read about that. I find that the most popular cartoon with men that I do is The Dogs from Hell, because really they're only there in order to eat people. I mean, they lure unsuspecting people into their somehow they have a condo. And they have all these signs on the door offering wonderful things that people are interested in, that men are interested in, and then free football games and free cars and lots of beer. And the guys come off the elevator and one says to the other, "Anybody coming?" And he says, 2 guys, and then he says, "Ready the condiments." And it's just, it's kind of appalling when you think that what it is kind of cannibalism that I'm talking about. But men often write to me and say, "Let's have more of those dangerous dogs." I think those cats, the cats are all have human characteristics. The worst of our characteristics, because after all, it's not really interesting that Sally Cookie is so sweet that she, wants to put her forehead against your forehead and she purrs when you look at her. That's not interesting. But if you think about a cat having the most selfish qualities of a human being, so that I think the most popular cartoon I ever did about cats was that there's a woman talking to a linguist, and he's cracked the code of cat language, and there's only 2 things that cats are really saying is, "Hurry my dinner, will ya?" and "Everything here is mine." So that's it. That covers it all, and they're all a variation on that. I think the best idea I had was having the cats with signs, because then I could pretend that, it's like, yes, they're just writing it as if they could write. They can't speak, but they're literate. So.
When did you start educat.com?
I think it can't be more than 4 months old.
Really?
Yeah, so it's really new.
And then, because all of the products you have on there, like the mugs and stuff, did you make that specifically for this website?
Fast. Yes.
Wow. So in those 4 months, you've been getting a good response then, as far as...
Yeah, the mugs are and you can see that I draw on the strip, and I say, visit Educat. And the people who order are obviously, I can tell by the state they live in, that they're reading it in the newspaper. So I'm not at that stage where people are just coming to my site. Mm-hmm. These people are looking in the newspaper and they see that.
That's great, though.
Yeah, I think it's fantastic. I'm so surprised, that I would get someone who wants a mug who lives in Alaska.
We would like to thank Nicole for giving up her time and showing us the process that she goes through for making a cartoon. We really learned a lot, and she's a pretty awesome lady.
Yeah, we had a great time, and make sure you check out her website, educat.com. And also, we're asking for submissions of your cartoons.
Okay.
Don't worry if they're not as good as Nicole's, but please just submit your cartoons, and you can do that at facebook.com/scoopfree. So we're looking forward to it.
Thanks a lot.
See you next time.
Cat Shat.